What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing fantastic as always. We are back with our week 3 update video on our low-tech aquariums on the rack here. Just to recap, these have no lighting, no CO2, no O2, no filters. They just get water changes. That's the only thing they get. So here is our Hornwort and Alternanthera tank. It is doing absolutely excellent. You can see the Hornwort is really helping keep the water crystal clear and clean. The Alternanthera Renecki is growing with no problems without CO2 or fertilizer. You can see it quite healthy behind the Hornwort. And the fish overall are doing quite well in this tank. As you can see here, the sun is hitting this tank right now through the window at almost the perfect angle where it's making the front half of it really illuminated and crystal clear, so we can see exactly how the plants are doing. And this tank, out of the 4 tanks that we have, or 5 tanks I should say, that we have in this low-tech setup, is by far the clearest so far. It also has the most fish in it, which is something that most people would think is counterintuitive. The fish really doesn't have anything to do with it. It would be making the tank more dirty if we didn't have it heavily planted, but since we do have a bunch of Hornwort in there, which is a very greedy nutrient plant, it will be just fine. It's actually keeping the water more clear than the other tanks, just because it is a high demand plant. You can see some of the Hornwort's getting a little bit too much light in the right there. We see the browning Hornwort piece. That's just a sign it's getting too much light. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our pearlweed tank and take a look at that one, see how it's been doing. Here we have our pearlweed tank, and it's just looking incredible. The pearlweed has been carpeted and is filled out nicely. I have trimmed it once so far. It could use another trim. You can see here the purling effect from which it gets its name, where it's releasing oxygen back into the water. It was right there, and it almost looks fake because of how perfectly spaced the bubbles are when the plant's breathing like this, and it's just absolutely incredible to look at. Your plants don't always purl, but you can tell they're really happy when they are purling. It's a good sign your plants are doing well. Now, all plants do generally do this. However, pearlweed does it in a different level, to where you can kind of just watch it. It's captivating to see. So this is where pearlweed gets its name from, and one of the reasons that we enjoy it so much is when you do carpet it, it has this crazy effect where it will do this, and even floating it will do this. You just can't really see it because it's at the surface, and it will grow completely differently aesthetically, how you looking at it, based on where you plant it. Outside at the surface, it's going to grow really dense and kind of bushy. If you plant it in lower light, carpeted, it's going to grow a little taller with more space between the internodes where the leaves are. So depending on what you want to do with it and how you want it to look, you can achieve a crazy amount of effects even in a low-tech tank where we're not doing anything to it. This pearlweed has received 0 nutrients, pretty much 0 anything besides fresh water, and you can see it is very happy. But that pretty much covers up our week 3 update. Our other tanks we did not film this week. We'll go ahead and film those next week. There wasn't much of a change with them, but as I think next week comes about, we'll see more growth in some of our other tanks, so we'll go ahead and do an update on those as well. But we have another minute or 2 of watching this pearlweed left, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop talking there, and we'll get a little time lapse of the pearlweed tank and just kind of take it in for a couple minutes. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like and subscribe button if you did. It means a lot to us, and I'll see you guys in the next video.